Hi, good morning. My name is Russell James Mompero Gaudiano. I will be demonstrating my detailed lesson plan about the basic computer hardware. So, for the objectives, at the end of the lesson, the learners will be able to identify the components of a system unit and they will be able to describe the functions of its components of a system unit. For the subject matter, the topic is about the computer system unit and the reference is about the computer hardware modules. And for the materials used, we are using a computer desktop and a TV monitor screen. So I will begin the demonstration. Good morning, class. I am Russell James Mompero Gaudiano. I will be your teacher for the basic computer hardware. Before anything else, let's start our prayer. So for today, I will be leading the prayer. But on the following days, I will choose one randomly. Okay, so in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, so class, before we start our topic, I want to implement some house rules. First, I don't want to see anyone sleeping during my class. So if I caught you sleeping, I will let you continue to sleep, but you need to move your table beside my table. So that's clear. And the second rule is no cell phones allowed. If you need to answer an emergency calls or text, you need to raise your hand properly. And so on for the last one is also the same. If you want to go to the bathroom, you need to raise your hand and let me know. Is that clear? Okay, that's good. So our topic for today is about the basic hardware of a computer. So first is we need to share to everyone our stock knowledge. So if anyone here has any idea about computer hardware, just raise your hand. Share it with your classmates so that you will be able to help them later on. Okay. Okay, that's good. So don't answer in chorus. Please raise your hand. Okay, Mr. X. Okay. Okay, that's good. How about you? Okay, great. Anyone else? Okay, I think that's all. So, make sure to remember that one because right away, right now, we'll be having our exam. This exam is just a pre-test just to test your stock knowledge about the computer since our generation now are mostly using computers. So, we will begin our pre-test. This will be like 5 minutes only. It is matching type and only 7 items. So don't be afraid to get a very low score because as they say, success is not final, failure is not a fatal. It is courage to continue that counts. Okay. So here your timer starts now. Okay, time's up. Please submit your paper. I will be checking this by myself and the score is doesn't matter if you get a low score. This is just my reference on to evaluate your level of knowledge about the computer. Okay. So, okay, first, as you can see, this one, a system, this is a system unit. People commonly mistaken this one as a CPU. As you can see, this is not a CPU. As you can see, for example, this is not a CPU because this is a system unit. System unit or a case or a chassis, it is where we put all the components of a computer. It's like a house where we use or we put our furnitures. So system unit is just a casing, a box or a rectangular box used to store our components of the computer. So, any question? Okay, good. So, next, motherboard. This is motherboard, also known as a mainboard or a system board. This board contains all the circuits of the computer. It is where all the components are joined. Okay? So it is easy to identify the motherboard because it is a big circuit board. Next. So this is the CPU, or CPU means the central processing unit. Remember earlier about the system unit being mistakenly called as a CPU? So this is the difference. System unit is a very big box, while a CPU is just a tiny small square circuit. So this is the central processing. So the processor is the main brain or heart. So it refers to the CPU of a computer system. It performs all the instructions and calculations that are needed and manages the flow of information of a computer. So example of CPU is like Core i7, AMD A8. So those are CPU or central processing unit. Next is the primary storage. So some of the people also mistakenly call this as the hardware. Primary storage is not a hardware because hardware, hard disk. Hard disk is a secondary storage device. The primary storage is the RAM. This is primary storage, or also known as RAM, means RAM, random access memory. So what does it mean? It means that it is the computer's working storage space that holds data, instructions, and process the data information waiting to be sent to the secondary storage, which is the hard disk drive or HDD. So it's just a very small rectangular circuit board. So the motherboard is a very big circuit board, while the RAM is a very tiny rectangular shape. So expansion bus. So expansion bus can be found in a part of a motherboard. It is just like a slot where you put your other items, other components. So we will see an example for that later on. So a bus is a data pathway. Several hardware components inside or outside the computer. It does not only connect the parts of a CPU to each other, but also links CPU with the other computer. So, any questions? Okay, good, no questions. I hope you understand, and this is just simple. So you don't need to memorize everything, but familiarize. Okay. Adapter. So adapter is a printed boards. So usually this is also like adapter. Example of an adapter is a video card. So this is an example also of a components that you will be able to put or connect into the expansion bus, because expansion bus is the slot in a part of the motherboard. So that slot, the expansion bus, that is where you will be able to connect the adapter or the video card. So you will be using that slot for the adapters. So last for is the PSU or the power supply unit. So it is installed in the back of the system unit, and it converts the power that will be able to use by the components of your system unit or your computer. It is very important that you have this, because it will convert the amount needed, the volts needed by your computer. So that's all for today's topic. So anyone have a questions? Okay, none so far. So right now we will have a quick test. I will be choosing only 4 items from the 7 items that I've discussed. So I will be showing the picture and you will describe or explain what it is. Okay, so for first is this one. What is this and what is the use of this component? Okay, okay. So who wants to answer? Okay, Mr. A. Okay, what is this? CPU. Okay, that's great. You're correct. So what is the use of CPU? Okay, good. So this is CPU. So for the next picture, what is this one? Mr. B. Okay, that's correct. This is a RAM or the random access memory. So what is the use of RAM? Very good. So next, I think this is just easy for you. This is a big circuit. Okay. Don't answer in chorus. Okay. Mr. C, what is this? Motherboard. That's correct. So, what's the functionality of this motherboard? Okay. Correct. So, for the last one, what is this? Mr. D, power supply or a PSU. Correct. So, I think this is just easy. So, okay, I think that's it for today. So, I will be giving you one assignment. So, this assignment is also for our next topic for the next meeting. So, it's about the hand tools used in computer hardware. So, you need to list down at least 10 examples of hand tools used in computer hardware. Place your answer on a 1/4 sheet of paper and submit it next meeting. So, for the scores, if you get a 5 scores and below, there will be a groupings. So 3 groups. Okay. So I will I will be giving you the groupings and the reason why I will group you for the next meeting. So if you take 5 scores and below, you will be in the first group, and for those who take remarks with 6 to 8 points, you will be the second group, and for 9 to 10 points, you will be the third group. And I will be discussing to you on next meeting. So any questions? Very good. So we are clear. So before we end our today's class, hard work, I have a quote, hard work matters. Thank you.